Welcome everyone. This is an update video on what's growing on in my garden, and a lot is happening. I worked on a new project in the garden and I'm excited to share with you guys. But the reason why I don't update as much is because I still have to go to work during the week. So when I have to physically go into the office, I am exhausted by the time I get home. So I really don't get a chance to work in the garden, and I don't have time to make videos. But you can always follow me on my Instagram, where I do make daily updates because it doesn't require editing. And I will put that in the description box so that you guys can follow me on Instagram. But let's get started. This is my cucumber plant. So I ended up cutting a lot of leaves off of this plant, and there was a Mexican marigold also in this container, which I removed, and I still have this one, and I'm debating about removing it. I'll keep an eye out on this plant. And the reason why I removed it is because this plant is in a container, and I don't usually container garden. I mean, I did some containers last year, but I did not do cucumbers in the container. Or maybe I did, but they didn't make it to the point of full development because I started them too late. Well, what I've learned is about leaching, nutrients leaching from the containers. And the more this container, this cucumber puts out, like right now it really has a ton of cucumbers that it is putting out, so it's going to require more nutrients and more watering, and cucumbers like a lot of water, so I have been staying on top of watering it, but because I'm watering it so much, the nutrients are leaching out. So I ended up taking out the Mexican marigold so that it's not stealing nutrients from this cucumber. And I top dressed it because we got rain yesterday. And I also added some cow manure as a top dressing on top of it, and some slow release fertilizer. So I'll keep an eye on it, but like the leaves started turning yellow. And they're looking a lot better now. The plant is looking a lot better. The leaves will grow out. So that's something that is totally different in the garden. And I did the same for this cucumber in this container. You notice over here, the ones that are growing in this raised bed look so much healthier. So I will keep an eye out. And I am constantly hand pollinating, but I really don't have to hand pollinate because I have seen bees over there, which I do have a video of the bee hand pollinating this. So these blackberries have started flowering. At least this one has right here. So hopefully I'll be getting berries soon. Not only that, they have really grown a lot. So I am going to figure out where I want to put them. And I think I know where I'm going to put them. But they need something that they can trellis up. As you can see, this one wants to kind of like have some type of support. So I was thinking about building a support behind here and then putting it in a raised bed that I make behind this. I'm still debating, or building one to go over there. This bed that I planted last week is looking really good. Like I said, the cucumbers are doing quite well, and They actually started flowering. That's a male flower. So pretty soon they'll be putting out female flowers, and then they'll have cucumbers. And then I can train them to go up here. And these morning glories right here, I am waiting for them to get the tendrils so that I can start training it to climb up this right here. So it looks really good. All of my pepper plants are really producing right now. I'm extremely pleased with them. I have more seeds started of different varieties of extremely hot peppers like Ghost and Scotch Bonnet that I'm looking forward to planting, that Eric gave me seeds for last year. Thank you, Eric. These are my chocolate bell peppers, and I have been using the fish emulsion, but I think I'm going to, I ordered some Cal Mag for my tomatoes that I'm going to start fertilizing with to some of these fruiting plants to see if that helps, because when they're in the containers they need a lot of nutrients, and I don't think I've been providing enough with as much as I have to water now. So I planted this loofah here, and it's doing its own thing, and I'm glad, because that's what I wanted. I wanted it to start climbing and growing, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Like, I really love vining plants, and the way it's growing up here is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. So I moved my fig tree and my mango tree and my avocado tree here, because what I'm going to do is build like the square things, like a patio, but not a patio, with the square stepping stones. And then I'm gonna get the wood barrel type planters, and I'm gonna plant them in rows, all of my fruit trees along here. This area gets full sun all day long. The Orlando gardener, I asked him for advice on my mango tree, because I started this tree a year ago from a seed. I do not know the variety, so don't ask. But it was about 3 foot tall, and I asked him, can I top it? And he told me yes, and he showed me where. Well, check this out, guys. The reason why I topped it is because I wanted to start branching out and stop growing straight up, and it is doing exactly that. I'm excited because now it has 3 new starts right there of it branching out. So that means it'll start bushing out at a shorter height, because I'm trying to keep my fruit trees in containers. Now my small mango tree did it on its own, and I never topped it. So this is the mango tree I started last fall, and I did not top this tree, and it started branching out on its own without me even having to do anything to it. But this tree also has always been outside and in full sun, so as you can see, kind of got burnt right here and right here. So this one actually started reaching out on its very own, and I'm not complaining. I noticed flowers on my pineapple guava that I purchased a year ago. If you've been following me, it was about 1 inch tall when I got it off of Etsy. As they're probably cuttings. I don't think they were seed starts. I think they were cuttings, and well, this one is flowering. So that one over there is not flowering yet, but this one right here is flowering. So I'm excited. I don't know if I will get any guavas. Maybe I can hand pollinate it. I'll look it up, but this is the first time that it's flowered. My cat face tomato, first one I've ever had. And these are the tomatoes that are currently growing. This variety is Beefmaster. It is slow. It has been extremely slow growing the fruit. So I'm hoping with the CalMag that'll help it. But I think it's just a variety. It is indeterminate, but it's just a slow grower. The fruits, these right here, flowers keep dropping off, and it's because it's too hot. It's extremely hot here, guys. So if this keeps up, I'm gonna start providing shade for this plant. And it looks like these cucumbers, I may just get rid of them. They are bonsai. Look how small they are, and they have started flowering. So I think I'm gonna just plant something else there. I am waiting on some red runner beans that I'm thinking about just planting here. For some reason, these cucumbers really didn't do what I thought it would do. Something else that did not do what I thought it was gonna do. Like I said, that tomato plant, they're taking a long time to produce. So this is another one, and this one has not set any fruit at all. Honestly, it's just taking up space in the garden. So I think I'm gonna remove it. Maybe I'll throw it in the pot. If it grows something, it grows something. But honestly, I can use this bed to grow something else like okra. So we'll see. I might do that tomorrow. Arch here, I had so many expectations and they did not come through. The same with that middle thing. Like, I planted those sweet pea blue peas thinking that they would take over that trellis in the middle. And the second year in a row, I've planted them and they just do not grow. Like, they're literally turning yellow and not growing. I don't know if it's where I'm at or what, but it's a bust. So when I get the red scarlet runner beans, I'm going to plant them there instead. So the morning glory, it still looks good, but you can see the yellowing and it's kind of fading. I planted these in January, and then the sunflowers have faded because that's what sunflowers do. Like, they don't last, their blooms aren't forever. I wish they were. But so I decided I'm gonna leave whatever morning glories continue to grow on here to grow. And then I decided to get a perennial climbing plant, because when the season is over, I don't want to have to keep adding annuals to fit whatever growing season that I am in. So I ended up planting this bougainvillea. I've always wanted one. Now I have one, and that's what I'm going to train to climb up this once these flowers here start fading. And right here, as you can see, like I said, these peas have, like, I tried to grow them last year and the same thing happened. Like, I'm leaving what's here. If they grow, but I don't think I'm gonna have any success with them. And I also have a sweet potato vine in here because I got stuff and nowhere to plant it. We have our purple bell peppers flowering, and the lemon balm. I cut this back a week ago, and as you can see, it's already growing out again. And that's pretty much how herbs are. And this is the cut flower bed, and as you can see, I threw in a bunch of seeds, but this sunflower is about 5 feet tall now, and it's still growing. Every day it seems like it gets bigger, and it has not flowered yet. And it has multiple heads. It's still developing heads, so it's going to be gorgeous when it does flower. So I'm waiting on more variety of flowers to pop up in this bed. Mexican sunflowers. They're always beautiful. So in this bed we have our Egyptian spinach and the strawberries, tiger collards. I don't think the tiger collards are getting enough sunlight, so I'm thinking about just planting some bok choy over here since it's shaded out by this Mexican sunflower, and see how it does. So I added a mystery tomato that I had in a pot in here, and I actually laid it down. So it's laid down, and then the stem is growing straight up so that it can create more roots. I don't know what type of tomato this is. And here's the lemon cucumber, which I also added some nutrients to, because as you can see, this one looks yellowish as well. And it was in the pot over there originally. So I'm thinking that because it was in the pot, it was being deprived of nutrients. It was in the pot with another one. Like, I think I had too many cucumbers in one pot, and that's a learning curve for me because I didn't realize how much these cucumber plants love to eat. Mexican marigold in this pot has started flowering, and I like the fact that it's in this pot with this milkweed because it helps the monarchs to hide, because this one really doesn't have that, and it's wide out in the open, and the wasps have been eating some of my caterpillars. I don't bring them inside when they get a certain age because they could have, wasps could have laid eggs in them, and I don't want to put them in a cage with other caterpillars if that happened. So I just have to leave them out here in nature. So my echinacea, I am still patiently waiting on flowers, and this rue looks gorgeous. So I am trying to train. I'm gonna have to get some ties, but I'm trying to train this loofah over here. So this is the loofah, the nasturtiums, and the morning glory. And I moved the bird bath over here out of the garden area because I got tired of moving it around. And look at that. So the pineapple is finally coming up. This one's still no pineapple yet. And here's another cucumber plant in the pot. So, what have I been working on? Let's get started. Okay guys, so this is the new area, and this is where I was storing all my tools over there. A mess. And what I did was clean out this area. Then I put cardboard mulch layer, like three times thickness, and then I put the wood chips on top, but I cut out an X and started planting. So right here is a row of pigeon peas that I'm hoping to train into like a hedge. They're 12 inches apart because I did research on how far apart to plant them. So this is my spineless okra, and I'm gonna come and plant lettuce underneath them because that's what I was reading. You can companion plant them, and when they get taller they'll provide shade for the lettuce. So I'm gonna try that. I'm still gonna add marigolds along here. It's just the sand fleas, like when I dug up this area, they just got disturbed and they just kept biting me and attacking me. So it was just hard trying to get this area situated. So in this bed there, I sowed some collard seeds, and then I did a ring of marigolds. What I'm gonna do is put Thule on here when the collards start germinating and sprouting, because I'm gonna grow collards during summer up under Thule. So in this pot here, I added my cayenne peppers and along with curly kale and marigolds. The reason why I added the peppers is because they deter the cabbage looper. So I companion planted them with my curly kale. And then I just brought this papaya tree here and I set these here, but that's not a permanent fixture. Like I said, this area is still gonna be, stuff is gonna be added to it. It's just that I was being attacked, guys. I couldn't do it. So that's pretty much it with my garden update. Oh, so the corn that I started, because I'm doing succession planting of corn, has started sprouting here. So in another week I'll add some more rows in between some of these seed starts that I have. But so corn is going in this bed too, guys. But that's it, guys. So just wanted to give you an update. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Like that arch, it's kind of getting ugly, but hey, we're still growing. Oh, and another thing, I wanted to do a drip irrigation, but I don't know how, and I really haven't had time to sit down and research how to do it. So I got a timing system because it's extremely hot here in Florida, like in the 90s around 12 o'clock. So what I ended up doing was getting this sprinkler here, which covers this entire garden area, front and back. It just doesn't really cover over there, but that area is new. So what I'll do is get another hose and put over there. So I have the timer and it goes off 3 times a day for like 15 minutes and every 6 hours. So hopefully that'll keep the garden looking good, because I got tired of coming home and the morning glory was looking stressed. The cucumbers were really stressed, and I don't want to put stress on them. And I wanted consistent watering for the tomatoes, and the Mexican marigolds also started looking stressed, and that's why that one, I think it's starting to get a disease because it just wasn't having consistency. So I'm eventually going to move that out of the garden and plant it in the ground somewhere and see if it comes back fuller like that one, because I have 10 more growing and these grow really fast. So I can replace it. And let's see, let's go over here. So these are the potatoes that I planted along with broad bush beans. And they have really grown a lot, guys. So they're looking good. And then this is the sunflower bed. So as you can see, a lot of the sunflower seeds have germinated. So it's going to be interesting to see what it looks like. So those are my sunflower. Supposed to have been microgreens, but I couldn't bring myself to eat them. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna plant these somewhere. So that's what's gonna happen. So that's pretty much it on this week's update, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's it for this week's update video. And if you liked the video, please give a thumbs up so more people can view it. And also leave me a comment and let me know how you enjoyed the video. And if you're not already a member of my channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can stay up to date on what's growing on in my garden. And I thank you so much for watching and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.